The Good Buddies Anime Podcast is hosted by two rowdy, foul-mouthed American cowboys. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome into the Good Buddies Anime Review. I am your good buddy Roger.
And I am your good buddy Brandon.
And you heard right. We're reviewing this time, not doing a Spotify playlist.
We definitely said we were going to do a Spotify playlist thing, and then we
were
kind of
like, how is this going to work? And we just haven't got around to...
I still think we can do it, but it is getting put on the back burner because you know what popped into freaking Funimation this past week.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell them, Roger?
Demon Slayer Mugen Train.
Yes, Demon Slayer. What's the full? It's like the full title is like Demon Slayer, and then the Japanese title, which I don't I can't say it.
Kimetsu no Yaiba?
Yes. Friggin' Mugen Train. The movie Mugen Train is like the full title. It's very long. Look, listen. Y'all seen this show? If you haven't, you should check it out. Because we both enjoyed it a whole bunch. Maybe one of our favorite shonens of the past several years.
Yeah, and you have to watch. Well, I wouldn't say you have to watch the show to enjoy the movie, but it certainly helps.
You really should watch the show. But point is, show's amazing. Movie, we're gonna talk about it right now. And Roger, what we're gonna do here is give our good buddies a review of recommendation. This is not necessarily our own feelings.
Tell me about it, big guy.
It's not necessarily our own feelings on it. Obviously, that's part of it. But the big thing is, it's a review of recommendation. Do we, your good buddies, think you, our good buddies, should check out this movie? Mm-hmm. Which, in case you didn't know, a little backstory, this thing made so much freaking money when it got released last year.
It made all of the money.
It made all the money. It broke all the records in Japan. It's finally stateside. Now it was in theaters a couple months ago. It is now available on streaming.
It was a little hairier a couple months ago. You know, vaccines were just starting to roll out. You know, I wouldn't be quite comfortable going to a theater at that time, but thankfully, it came right to our streaming app of Funimation.
Indeed it did. And so, we're going to be talking about it. And overall, again, it's going to be, do we think you should check it out?
That's right.
And Roger, if this movie was straight up boo-boo garbage, what would you call that?
I call it an anime, maybe not.
What if it was like not the worst, but not great?
Anime.
It was average. It was okay.
It's anime, maybe.
What if it was actually pretty good, though?
My guy, it's anime, most definitely.
But if it was outstanding, Roger, if it was that good,
ooh, it's amazing.
It would be amazing. And the way we're going to get there is we're going to take a scale that we've created, a little system we have devised in the Good Buddies Laboratory. Where we're going to talk about these really, what we're going to do is we've broken it down to 5 separate categories. Each of these categories could get a possible 2 stars for a total of 10 stars. That is how math works. And Roger, what is that first category?
The story and setting.
Second category.
Characters and development.
Number 3, if you please.
The art and animation.
The 4th category.
That soundtrack.
And finally, that 5th category, that Good Buddies Wiggle Room, that je ne sais quoi. Roger, what does that mean?
I do not know what.
I don't know what. Point is, that's what we're going to do. We're going to get on into it. Let's just get right into it with the story and setting. How you feeling about it, Roger?
You know, I felt pretty good. It takes, like, literally right after the show leaves off.
Indeed.
It picks up right there.
If you haven't seen the show Demon Slayer, first of all, what's wrong with it? Second, is the story of a young boy named Tanjiro who, in a world where demons exist, and there is a group of people who slay these demons called the Demon Slayers, and his whole family straight up got murdered, except for his young sister, Nezuko, who's been turned into a demon, and now he has vowed to, 1, stop whoever did that, and 2, find a way to cure his sister. That is his foremost thing. He wants to get her back to normal, back to human.
Spoiler, the guy who did it is, in fact, Michael Jackson.
Yes, he is a smooth criminal. I forget his actual name in the show, but he does walk around looking like that. He's also a shapeshifter.
It's Mugen, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like, I don't remember. But point is, the dude's bad news. He's a bad boy, and you will get touched by a smooth criminal. Point is, yeah. Annie, are you okay? Point is, that's the crux of it. He, along the way, runs into some other people, Zenitsu and Inosuke, who are a pervy little lightning boy who falls asleep, and a crazy shirtless boy with a pig head.
I did love their dreams.
Yes, we'll get to that. And now they have come in contact with the heads of the main Demon Slayer Corps. In fact, the upper echelon of the Demon Slayers. And they are with one of them, the Flame. They're called the Hashira, right? Something like that.
Yeah, the Hashira?
Yes, they're called the Hashira, and they are teaming up with the Flame Hashira. They're going to jump on a train because he is on a mission to find this one very powerful demon who has been killing a bunch of people.
Muzan is his name.
Yes. Yes.
That's Michael Jackson.
That's Michael Jackson. Okay. But Kyojuro is the Flame Hashira. And they're trying to find this powerful demon who's killed a bunch of demon slayers. And so they find themselves on the Mugen train. All right. So, as you said, picks up right where the show left off. They're getting on this train. They're going to go find a demon and whatnot. Is there really anything else to say about it? It takes place mostly on this train.
Yep.
Almost pretty much entirely on the train.
Yeah.
Except for like a bit at the end.
Pretty much. The setting itself is the train and right around the train, you know?
Yes. Although we do get a little bit more because the big story here at the for the most part is that there is a demon on this train, and almost as soon as they get on this freaking train, they all end up hypnotized, put to sleep, and in these little dream worlds. So this is a thing that I guess we can kind of move on to characters in development, where we've talked about movies before, like with the MHA movie, the last MHA movie we watched. We talked about how, there's not a ton of character development in the movies always because you kind of already know the characters, one, if it's based on a show, and two, it's a movie. You don't have a ton of time to develop them.
That's true.
I love the way that we do get a decent amount of development from these characters because they drop them into these dream worlds. And in some of those dreams, Mr. Flameboy, for example, who has those giant freaking crazy eyes. Oh, I love his design. We see his dream world is kind of his backstory. You get a little bit of information on him, his family, etc., etc. Whereas our other characters, who we know better than him already, their dream worlds are also kind of their backstories with Tanjiro, but also Zenitsu. Well, what do you need to know about him? He really likes Nezuko, and he wants to find him a girlfriend and go on a date, so his whole dream world is just going on a date with Nezuko.
Yeah.
It's super cute.
It's pretty cute.
It's like they get dropped into these idealized dream worlds for him, their happiest dreams, and his is to spend time with her and jump across the river because he's so strong and he can show off a little bit. Oh, how cute. And then Inosuke appears to be some kind of mole man who's leading the rest of them who are also animals.
They're in a cave.
They're in a cave, and he's leading them to fight a big monster because he's the leader. Yes, he's the leader. Zenitsu is like a rat boy, and I think Tanjiro was like a tanuki.
Yeah, they kept doing this weird thing, giving Zenitsu these buck teeth.
He's a little rat boy.
Yeah, well they did it. They did it outside of the dream one time too.
And who can forget Dear Rat Boy? And then my favorite thing in there though is when you first see him, it's him like walking. He's like on patrol, and like right behind him is Nezuko, who is a bunny girl. Very cute.
She has the dot eyes.
It's very cute. The show's fucking adorable.
Yeah.
But yes, that's how we get a lot of the development. They then like have to fight their way out of these dream worlds, fight the demon, etc., etc. We're not gonna get spoilery here. Normally we would get spoilery in the ramble, but we're probably skipping the ramble today. Yeah, because we got a lot to do.
Yeah,
sorry, but yes, that's where we get a lot of the development. Do you have much else to say about the development of these characters?
I mean, I think it was okay. I think I've seen movies that definitely have done it better.
Sure.
I would have liked to got a little more on Rengoku. And I would have liked to got more. Sorry, I hit my microphone. More on Rengoku. I would have liked to have gotten more on Inmu, the demon himself, on the train.
Sure.
Because I had to look up just to figure out what the heck the demon's name was.
Sure.
So I would have. I mean, I liked the demon. I thought the character was cool, but I would love to have just a smidge more about him.
Yeah, I'll say that's one thing that kind of disappointed me about this is that in the show, there's several of these episodes where a demon character is introduced and then is defeated and then you get to see a little bit of backstory on him and whatnot.
Yeah, you get to
and
feel for him a little bit.
it's these really touching moments with the monsters.
Yeah.
And I was really looking forward to that with this, and they just don't give it to you.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bummer.
They had two opportunities, two different characters they had the opportunity to do it with.
Yeah, they
and you didn't really get it with either.
You get a good sense of their, motives and whatnot, but it's one of those where, like, when I look back to the show, there was like the one where this demon became a demon or whatever, and then you see them like as they're dying, their version of the afterlife is them when they were still human. They were a little kid and chasing after their brother, and like as they're fading away, they see their brother reach out his hand and grab them, and he leads them into the afterlife. That's fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
And that was like a character that was in the show for that long. That was just like an episode and a half, and they're gone. And that was really well done. I remember choking up watching that. And here I was like, man, this is a really cool character. Sure wish I got more from him. Like it's kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there were times like in the train when the combat was going on, I would have loved to have seen more of Nezuko, Zenitsu, and even Rengoku. Now Rengoku does get
he gets the bulk of it.
Yeah, he gets a big fight towards the end.
Yes. He also gets several really cool moments on the train.
Yeah.
But yeah, the bulk of it is kind of jumps between them. You don't get a whole lot from anybody. I think you get more from him. I think
you get more of Tanjiro and Inosuke
for sure.
And I would just like to see more clips in between everything going on.
Yeah, I can see that. You do get some pretty cool stuff from everybody. Is there much else to say about characters?
No, not really. But it is fun. I mean, I think they do an okay job.
Well, how about that art and animation?
It's Demon Slayer.
Yeah, so it's killer. It's fucking killer.
And actually, you know what? I have seen better CG.
Oh yeah. So here's the thing. It's Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is always beautiful when you watch the show. For the movie, I feel like they turned it up a little bit for obviously some of the fight scenes were absolutely incredible. There is a lot of basically like a bunch of purple goo starts shooting out of this train, and it's all CG and it's pretty doofy looking.
Yeah, it's Demon Slayer to me is like whenever I think about it and what it looks like, it's these very flat and vibrant colors and character designs on these juxtaposed to these very real, almost looking backgrounds.
Sure.
There are times you have to look at it and you really need to discern, is this real or did they draw this?
Right. Did they just like colorize a photo or something?
And on this one, it does have that, but then it has this CG, which I will compare to PS3 era graphics.
I've definitely seen worse, is what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, sure.
I've seen a lot worse.
I've seen things that look like PS1 graphics.
Oh yeah,
this is PS3, baby.
There's some shows that came out just so far this year that were worse than this.
Yeah,
but like this, it's definitely weird. I think the biggest problem with it is that it moves kind of funky, but it also the CG it's just the same goo. It looks like purple gack just everywhere. It's really doofy looking. I will say they at least had the decency to give it some shading and depth. Yeah. So it's not again, not the worst thing I've ever seen. Yeah. But even that, barring the pretty weird CG bits, overall the fight scenes obviously were incredible. Every time Homeboy busts out his flame powers, it's absolutely killer. We do get to see Tanjiro using some of his water breathing and shooting out water dragons from his sword. It's absolutely sick. Overall, it just looks really good.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks very... I mean, I will say that the show is on... the budget on the show is probably the same as the movie. It looks very similar.
It looks really good.
I couldn't really discern a difference between the two.
I would only say there are moments during fight scenes that were... they really cranked it to 11. There was a couple.
Now,
but then that CG kind of
when we reviewed the show, I did give the animation a 2. So
yeah, there you go.
And I mean, I think this is on par with the show. So there you go.
Yeah, clearly.
And I do want to point out that whenever we talked about the show a whole lot, we always talked about the people who did it or whatever.
UFO table.
Yeah. I'm thoroughly convinced it is UFO table.
Well, yeah,
now.
Their little logo has a little UFO.
It had a little UFO flying.
Yeah, like a Dupsa guy. It's great.
I was like, I'm not the crazy man.
No one said you were. It's fine.
Everybody else said ufotable.
Ufotable?
Ufotable.
I don't know how it's pronounced. I know it says UFO table.
It's UFO table.
It's a portable UFO. It's ufotable.
Yeah.
Why not? I don't know. Something like that. I mean, I will. Okay. little tangent. I will say that I've heard like people who are super duper into the whole alien conspiracy thing talk about it, and a lot of them do like to pronounce it UFO.
Yeah.
Instead of UFO.
Ufologist.
Ufologist, yes, the ufologist. So it's an ufaudible.
Yeah. Get off my nuts, okay? It's UFO table.
It's an ufaudible. Anyway.
Yeah, man. What's next?
Nothing else to say about art and animation?
Nothing else. Dude.
All right,
it's
music
good.
and sound.
I thought it was good.
I thought it was very good. The roaring flames and the crackles of the fire bits.
Yeah, the chugging of the choo-choo.
The choo-choo's chugging along. You get some real good like wind whooshing by when they're fighting on the roof of the train.
The squishy little meaty tentacle thing.
Yeah, the swords like clanging and like slashing into stuff.
All of it is good. The interstitial stuff is very good. The sound effects and design for the show is good.
Music is decent.
I don't remember much music in the show, but the last song is very good.
Yeah, there is an end theme, and it's very effective. It's very affecting. Yeah. I will say there's one bit where a character shows up and they like power up, and the music turns into this crazy like kind of rock EDM thing with like it, and like there's a voice that's like going full like T-Pain in the background. It sounds really cool, like on the freaking synthesizer and whatnot.
Yeah.
That track absolutely rocked, and it was very good.
I would have loved to have got like one of those classic movie music video tracks in here.
Yeah,
because it would have played really well.
I feel like that one was pretty close, and that was. There's a big fight scene toward the end that obviously that's where they're gonna hit like all the notes, and boy howdy did they. The music's, I thought it was quite well done.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. You want to take Je ne sais quoi first? You want me to take it?
You go ahead and go first, man.
All right, I'll go first. So I don't have a whole lot to say about the Je ne sais quoi on this one. I will say that like, for one, I feel like this is one that if you haven't seen the show, it's not gonna hit you as hard. Mm-hmm. And even then, I'll get to it. But it's one that I don't think I could say just any old body check it out. I would definitely say any old body check out the show. And then if you enjoyed the show, for freaking sure, check out the movie. The movie's great.
You're gonna need it if you want to watch the next season.
And see, that's one thing I do love about it, is that it is, we've had stuff like the MHA movies that are sometimes kind of non-canon.
Like
they're
the Dragon Ball Z movies.
Exactly. They're their own little thing, kind of. They're not really 100% canonical. Whereas this one, this is an arc from the manga. This is leading you into season 2. It picks up where season 1 stops, movie, and then we're going to get season 2. Or maybe there'll be another round, I don't know yet. But probably season 2, right?
Yeah.
Point is, this is like a part of it. So you're going to want to watch this. If you watch season 1, you're going to watch this. You're going to watch season 2. That said, there are moments in this thing. There's a thing that happens with these anime movies sometimes. I know they did it with Legend of Galactic Heroes, where like they release the season as movies.
Yes.
And then they like split it up into its regular episodes for TV.
Yeah.
There were moments in here where like I could see the lines. Like there was a part where where a character shows up and I'm like, okay, that's the cliffhanger. That's where we go to the end theme. And that's going to be the clip at the beginning of the next episode. Like that's how they would do it.
Sure.
It kind of felt like I was watching like 5 episodes of the show.
I agree.
It's not a bad thing. But it's just like, it's like when you're watching like a really cool action movie and you kind of like saw the string that was holding the guy up as he flew across the sky, I saw the lines, and it is a little weird, but I still think it works. I mean, obviously, this is based on a manga, which is released in issues. It's gonna have an episodic feel to it, as would the show because it's episodes, as will a movie when it's based on those things. So I don't really have an issue with that. The thing that really bummed me out about it is that, like, if it was a show, there would be more time to develop these characters.
Yeah.
And I feel like the characters were decently developed, and yet I feel like I wanted so much more from it. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. There is a massive...
This movie moves at a brisk pace, too.
It does indeed. But there are, like, these massive moments that are hugely, like... Huge stuff happens in this movie. Big character moments. Very emotional moments.
Yep.
Hugely emotional moments. And you're watching the characters react, and they're having like these huge emotional reactions. And like It's obviously meant to inspire that in me. Here's the thing, y'all. I'm the cryingest baby around.
It's true.
I'd cry at anything, damn near. I got nothing from this one. It just didn't hit me at all. And I'm not sure if
Arjun Sequa is going to be very similar.
Yeah, I don't know if that's because, I just haven't watched the show in a while and I was just jumping into the movie, or if I wasn't caught up, maybe if I watched a couple episodes and then went in, I don't know. But there was a lot. It really drives home how devastating some of these moments are, and I did not feel them. I just saw them happen. I was like, okay, that sucks. All right, what happened next? Not that I'm kind of, trumped it up a little bit, but man, it just, there were moments where I should be sniffling and tearing up right now.
Yeah.
Just watching the show, I was sniffling and tearing up over some stuff. But this one, it just didn't hit me at all.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bummer. And that's really it. Those emotional moments just did not really land for me.
Yeah.
Is the thing.
Yeah, man.
What do you think about it?
More of the same. It just didn't give enough time to build these characters. And at least, yeah. Like the demon did not get enough time. Our main demon, I guess that's debatable, but did not get enough time. Rengoku did not get enough time. There's like a side character, and I'll go ahead and spoil a little bit for you. The character has tuberculosis.
Yes, you find out,
but it's almost like throwaway.
Yeah,
that
there's
he has
a young character who has this disease.
Yeah,
and they have a really cool emotional moment.
Yeah.
Because where they kind of have this moment where they're supposed to do this terrible thing, but they kind of realize the person they're supposed to be doing it to is so pure and so good-hearted that it just inspires them and they just can't go through with it, kind of thing. But it just kind of, that was it. Okay, bye.
Yeah, and I do worry so they showed off these things where these people are going into their inner sanctum, their souls essentially. Looking for these orbs, and I would like to believe. No, I haven't read the manga. I would like to believe that will be touched on further in the show, but I don't know that it will. It just felt like another part of the movie that just didn't have enough time to be explained thoroughly. And if you would have got more episodic stuff, yes, that would have been better. You would have had more time. And these moments that were supposed to hit like a truck would have hit much harder.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it does not. Now, that is not to say that this movie is bad or anything like that.
No.
This movie is a great movie.
It's a very good movie. I would even go so far to say that we're talking mostly about character development here and how there wasn't enough of it for those moments to really count. I still think they did decent development.
Yeah, you get to know who the character is.
Grading on the curve that it is a movie, I still think it was very well done.
I think you get to know who the character is. I think there's enough time to make you care about who the character.
Yeah, just not deeply enough for these other. Yeah, the characters that we
because like you said in the show, the demons and stuff like the Spider Boy and stuff, you get to feel for that character.
Yeah.
You watch Tanjiro feel for this character, and once that character is gone, it is very emotional and it has a very big punch to it.
Yeah.
Where the movie, and it just kind of given the fact that it is a movie, the punch is pulled.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. But
I think I'll put it there. I think it's less that the punch is full. I feel like it's a full punch. The problem is, you don't get a one-hit KO.
They got meaty arms.
You got to work them over first before you get the knockout punch. You got to hit with the jabs. You got to soften them up, and then you can pound them. The problem is we didn't get any tenderizing. We just got a big punch at the end. It was yo, I'm still good. you know?
I ain't down yet.
Yeah. That said, I will say that there are moments in here that, so talking to friends of mine, like I said on the previous ramble.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that cried in this movie.
Yeah, I've had friends who, were invited to go out and see the movie from a friend, had never heard of Demon Slayer, slammed through the whole series on Netflix over a night or two, and then went and saw the movie, and it absolutely worked. Absolutely worked for them. I don't know. It just didn't hit me the same way.
No, it did not.
And with that, do you want to get into the scores?
I do.
All right. How did you feel about the story and setting?
I gave it 1.5.
I gave it a 1.5. How about the characters and development?
I gave it a 1.
I said before, grading on a curve for a movie, I'm giving it 1.5.
Okay.
How about the art and animation?
I gave it the full 2.
Full 2 on art and animation. Music and sound?
1.5.
I gave it a 1.5 as well. Je ne sais quoi?
I gave it the full 2 points.
I went 1. I went 1 point there because, again, it's mostly because I don't feel like I could tell anyone to check it out. It's mostly that I feel like you gotta watch the show first.
I felt like I heard enough people that hadn't checked it out that still saw the movie and enjoyed it. Because I had several people come into the store and start talking to me about Demon Slayer and the manga or whatever, the manga shortage. Like, oh, we saw the movie, we really liked it. We saw it on a whim, or my daughter really is into the show, so we went with her. And, you know, we all kind of got into it. So I think the movie stands alone fine on its own. But, you know, my wiggle room there was to, you know, for some of the points there, especially the characters and development, which I just really thought was the biggest hit of the show, it still allows me to even it up some.
Yeah, I get that. I totally get that. I went ahead and gave it the 1 because there's a couple things. I do feel like there's a couple things that kind of cut it down for me personally.
Are our scores exactly the same?
You got a 7.5?
No, I don't have a 7.5. I have an 8.
I have a 7.5.
Okay.
So there you go. I rated, as I think more often than not happens, I rated it a teensy bit lower than you did.
Yeah.
But I think that's still, what is that, an Animos definitely for both of us?
Yep, Animos definitely for both of us.
Yeah, there you go. It's absolutely worth checking out. If you've seen the show, add an extra point onto mine for sure. You could throw an extra point on there for sure. Which would make me an 8.5, and I rated it better than Roger. But assuming you have not, maybe. But yeah, great show. Lots of good action. Lots of good action. Really cool stuff.
Yeah, what's the action kicks in this movie? The pedal is to the metal.
Oh, we usually bring this up earlier, but I watched it subtitled.
Oh, and I watched it dubbed.
Yeah, how'd you think? What'd you think?
I love the subtitles way more.
There you go.
I love the original language way more. It's not to say that these voice actors are bad per se. You know, I'm not gonna shit on them. But,
it's the thing you said. You said in like episode 0. You said that like whatever I watched it originally is usually what you go with. It's usually what sticks in your mind, and you watch the subtitle of the show.
Now
right?
sometimes I'll check and like, wow, it does have a great voice staff. I could watch this either way. This one, it definitely is a strong preference. So.
Yeah. Well, that about does it for us, kids. It's Animos, definitely check it out. Check it out, whip it out, do the thing, do it. It's good. Decent program.
Yeah.
Now, Roger,
next time it's gonna be a little weird because we got 2 things that we're doing.
We're doing a double episode,
and they're gonna be released as their own separate episodes.
Yes, we didn't do a ramble this week. We're not doing a ramble next week. We're gonna get 2 separate episodes that will be separated.
Now, if you're listening to an audio podcast, will you get it as 1 or 2? I don't know yet. But on YouTube, for sure, you will be getting it as 2.
The real question is, are you going to mark it as like episode whatever and then episode whatever in 1?
Yes,
like,
I am.
They are going to be 2 different numbers.
Yes, they will be numbered episodes.
Okay. And then maybe the week after that, we'll figure out what we're doing, and maybe we'll have a ramble on that one. Yeah. Anyway.
But to tell you what we are going over,
go ahead.
The Wonder Egg OVA is out, so we're about to get that final episode. It'll be out this week, and we can finally score that Bad Mama Jamma. We'll see how I feel, man.
And also, we'll be talking about Megalobox Season 2. No man.
I mean, it's really gonna have to shit the bed to not get a.
I gotta tell you, so Roger here's why we're not doing a ramble. Roger has had 0 time to watch anything, so he doesn't have a lot to talk about.
I've had 0 time to breathe almost.
Yeah, he hasn't even been able to play his dang old video game with Big Vampire Mommy.
No!
He hasn't been able to watch a single episode of anime. He barely managed to watch this damn movie to review it.
I did watch the movie, though.
Did watch the movie.
I got to it.
Yes, while he was eating his Grubhub. But point is, he hasn't had a lot of time. And he is not caught up on Megalobox. Because of that, I'm caught up, and I gotta tell you, good buddies, it's real fucking good. So we'll see where it lands after
I'm not
this
too
last
far off.
episode.
I'm only like a couple episodes off.
Yeah, I'm caught up on almost everything that we've talked about over the past several weeks. So I'm pretty excited to see how they all wrap up. I'm actually, it's one of those things where like I'm watching a thing and I was like, all right, episode 12, let's see what you get. There's gonna be another one. Okay, we're going to 13. Cool. Can one of y'all just go to 12? I'd like to I need the ending, please.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff though. So check out all the stuff we've been talking about. To Your Eternity, Odd Taxi. They said the name of the show in the show, which was pretty fun. I call it Odd Taxi, he says. Really goofy, but it's good. Anyway, we're gonna be talking about those shows next week. By all means, come on back, see us then. Double episode next week. There's just going to be 2 back-to-back. Have a good time. All the plugs are in the description.
Yeah.
By all means, hit us up on the Facebook, Twitter, wherever. The easiest way to get a hold of us, though, is on Rapid Kick Media.
And everybody that's also put messages and stuff in the Discord. Once again, that's just something I haven't had a lot of time for, but I will be going on there and talking soon.
Did you see that thing I posted in the Dope Collectibles?
I've seen that you posted. I've seen that Josh posted. I don't even know who else posted, but
listen, your good buddy.
I've seen that people have posted. I haven't even got to look at it yet.
Your good buddy Brandon does not post in the Discord pretty much ever unless he's tagged in something, and then it's like, all right, I'll respond. But I found this cool thing. I found this funny video, and I put it in Dope Collectibles. It's pretty funny.
Okay.
Anyway, check out the Discord. Check out Rapid Kick Media. Leave us a comment, like, subscribe, click that bell so we can ding your dong. Of course, if you're listening to the podcast, please leave us a rating. 5 stars everywhere you are. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, the Spoofy, all the things. We'd really appreciate if you'd give us a rating and tell your friends about it, because word of mouth and ratings are the easiest way to spread our message, and then we can all be good buddies together, and that's when we start the cult.
That's right. Tell your kids.
It's going to be great.
Tell your wife. Tell your husbands too.
Yes. Look, I'm just saying, I feel like I'd be a really good, leader of the entire planet. It's going to be great. So make sure you get the message out there so we can slowly take over. And you'll be my number 2, Roger.
Thanks, man.
We're all good buddies.
I'm the best number 2 I can think of.
Hell yeah.
The biggest number 2.
Biggest, stankiest number 2. Thank you to all our musicians. Links in the bio, in the description. We're not going to do the whole plugs because there's no ramble, but we love you all. Thank you so much.